Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Liz, and I'm a mindset coach. I have a dog visiting who will be barking. This is chapter 3 of Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. This is chapter 3, The Miracle Working Power of Your Subconscious. The power of your subconscious is beyond all measure. It inspires you. It guides you. It calls up vivid scenes from the storehouse of memory. Your subconscious controls your heartbeat and the circulation of your blood. It regulates your digestion, assimilation, and elimination. When you eat a piece of bread, your subconscious mind transmutes it into tissue, muscle, bone, and blood. These processes are beyond the ken of the wisest person who walks the earth. Your subconscious mind controls all the vital processes and functions of your body. It knows the answer to all problems. Your subconscious mind never sleeps, it never rests. It is always on the job. You can discover the miracle-working power of your subconscious by plainly stating to your subconscious prior to sleep that you want a specific thing accomplished. You will be amazed and delighted to discover that forces within you will be released that lead to the result you wished for. Here is a source of power and wisdom that puts you directly in touch with omnipotence. This is the power that moves the world, guides the planets in their course, and causes the sun to shine. Your subconscious mind is the source of your ideals, aspirations, and altruistic urges. It was through the subconscious mind that Shakespeare perceived and communicated great truths hidden from the average man of his day. It was through the subconscious mind that caused the Greek sculptor Phidias to gain the art and skill to portray beauty, order, symmetry, and proportion in marble and bronze. The subconscious mind is the deep well from which great artists draw their awe-provoking power. It enabled the great Italian artist Raphael to paint Madonnas, and the great German musician Ludwig van Beethoven to compose symphonies. Some years ago, I was invited to lecture at the Yoga Forest University in Rishikesh, India. While I was there, I had a long conversation with a surgeon who was visiting from Bombay. From him, I learned the astonishing story of Dr. James Esdaile. He's Scottish. I don't know if I have it pronounced right. Esdaile was a Scottish surgeon who practiced in Bengal during the 1840s. This was before ether or other modern methods of chemical anesthesia began to be used. Nevertheless, between 1843 and 1846, Dr. Esdaile performed some 400 major surgical operations of all kinds. These included amputations, removal of tumors and cancerous growths. Can't talk today. Come on, Liz. And operations on the eye, ear, and throat. All these operations were performed under mental anesthesia only. Patients said they felt no pain, and none of them died during surgery. Just as amazing, the mortality rate of Esdaile's patients following surgery was extremely low. This was well before Western scientists such as Louis Pasteur and Joseph Lister pointed out the bacterial origin of infection. Oh, that's where we get Listerine. Cool. No one realized that post-operative infections were due to unsterilized instruments and virulent organisms. Nevertheless, when Esdaile suggested to his patients who were in a hypnotic state that no infection or septic condition would develop, their subconscious mind responded to this suggestion. They set in motion the processes needed to fight off the life-threatening dangers of infection. Think of it. Over a century and a half ago, this Scottish surgeon, who had gone halfway around the world, discovered how to use the miraculous working powers of the subconscious mind. It is enough to cause you to be seized with awe. The transcendental powers that inspired Dr. Esdaile and that protected his patients from mortal dangers can be yours too. Your subconscious mind can give you independence in time and space. It can make you free of all pain and suffering. It can give you the answer to all problems, whatever they may be. There is a power and an intelligence within you that far transcends your intellect, causing you to marvel at the wonder of it all. All these experiences cause you to rejoice and believe in the miracle-working powers of your own subconscious mind. Your subconscious is your book of life. Whatever thoughts, beliefs, opinions, theories, or dogmas you write, engrave, or impress on your subconscious mind, you will experience them as the objective manifestation of circumstances, conditions, and events. What you write on the inside, you will experience on the outside. You have two sides to your life, objective and subjective, visible and invisible, thought and its manifestation. Your thought is received as a pattern of neural firings in your cerebral cortex, which is the organ of your conscious reasoning mind. Once your conscious or objective mind accepts the thought completely, it is transmitted to the older parts of the brain, where it becomes flesh and is made manifest in your experience. As previously outlined, your subconscious cannot argue. It acts only from what you write on it. It accepts your verdict or the conclusions of your conscious mind as final. This is why you're always writing on the book of life, because your thoughts become your experiences. The American essayist Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Man is what he thinks all day long." People, remember that. Man is what he thinks all day long, for sure. What is impressed in the subconscious is expressed. William James, the father of American psychology, said that the power to move the world is in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is one with infinite intelligence and boundless wisdom. It is fed by hidden springs and is called the law of life. Whatever you impress on your subconscious mind, the latter will move heaven and earth to bring it to pass. You must therefore impress it with right ideas and constructive thoughts. The reason why there's so much chaos and misery in the world is because people do not understand the interaction of their conscious and subconscious minds. When these two principles are in accord, in concord, in peace, and synchronously together, you will have health, happiness, peace, and joy. People, this is very challenging to read. There's no sickness or discord when the conscious and subconscious work together harmoniously and peacefully. Thank you for being here. In the ancient world, Hermes Trismegistus had the reputation of being the greatest, most powerful magus the world had ever known. When his tomb was opened, centuries after his passing, those who were in touch with the wisdom of the ancients waited with great expectancy and a sense of wonder. It was said that the greatest secret of the ages would be found within the tomb. And so it was. The secret was, as within, so without, and as above, so below. In other words, whatever you impress in your subconscious mind, that becomes expressed on the screen of space. The same truth was proclaimed by Moses, Isaiah, Jesus, Buddha, Zoroaster, Lao Tzu, and all the illumined seers of the ages. Whatever you feel as true subjectively is expressed as conditions, experiences, and events. Motion and emotion must balance. As in heaven, your own mind, so on earth, in your body and environment. This is the great law of life. You will find throughout all nature the law of action and reaction, of rest and motion. These two must balance, then there will be harmony and equilibrium. You are here to let the life principle flow through you rhythmically and harmoniously. The intake and the outgo must be equal. The impression and the expression must be equal. All your frustration is due to unfulfilled desire. If you think negatively, destructively, and viciously, these thoughts generate destructive emotions which must be expressed and find an outlet. These emotions, being of a negative nature, are frequently expressed as ulcers, heart trouble, tension, and anxieties. What is your idea or feeling about yourself now? Every part of your being expresses that idea. Your vitality, body, financial condition, friends, and social status represent a perfect reflection of the idea you have of yourself. This is the real meaning of what is impressed in your subconscious mind and what is expressed in all phases of your life. We injure ourselves by the negative ideas which we entertain. How often have you wounded yourself by getting angry, fearful, jealous, or vengeful? These are the poisons that enter your subconscious mind. You are not born with these negative attitudes. Feed your subconscious mind life-giving thoughts, and you will wipe out all the negative patterns lodged within it. As you continue to do this, all the past will be wiped out and remembered no more. The subconscious heals a malignancy of the skin. The most convincing evidence anyone can have of the healing power of the subconscious mind is a personal healing. Over 40 years ago, I developed a resolved malignancy of the skin. I went to the finest doctors who tried the most advanced treatments medical science could offer. None of these helped. The malignancy got progressively worse. Then one day, a clergyman with a deep store of psychological knowledge told me the inner meanings of the 139th Psalm. He called my attention to the passage that reads, "In thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them." He explained that the term book meant my subconscious mind, which fashioned and molded all of my organs from a tiny original cell. He also pointed out that since my subconscious mind had made my body, it could also recreate it and heal it according to the perfect pattern within it. This clergyman pointed to his watch. This had a maker, he told me, but before the watch could become an objective reality, the watchmaker had to have the idea of it clearly in mind. For if some reason the watch stopped working as it should, the watchmaker's idea of it would give him the knowledge he needed to fix it. I understood what he was trying to tell me by this analogy. The subconscious intelligence that created my body was like the watchmaker. It knew exactly how to heal, restore, and direct all the vital functions and processes of my body. But for it to do this properly, I had to give it the perfect idea of health. This would act as cause, and the effect would be a healing. I formulated a very simple and direct prayer. My body and all its organs were created by the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind. It knows how to heal me. Its wisdom fashioned all my organs, tissues, muscles, and bones. This infinite healing presence within me is now transforming every cell of my being, making me whole and perfect. I give thanks for the healing I know is taking place at this time. Wonderful are the works of the creative intelligence within me. I repeated this simple prayer aloud for about 5 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. After some 3 months, my skin was whole and perfect. The malignancy had vanished. My doctor was baffled, but I knew what had happened. I had given life-giving patterns of wholeness, beauty, and perfection to my subconscious mind. These forced out the negative images and patterns of thought lodged in my subconscious mind, which were the cause of all my trouble. Nothing appears on your body except when the mental equivalent is first in your mind. As you change your mind by drenching it with incessant affirmatives, you change your body. Incessant affirmatives. That's awesome. Incessant. This is the basis of all healing. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul, subconscious mind, knoweth right well. That's Psalm 139, verse 14. How the subconscious controls all functions of the body. Whether you are awake or asleep, the ceaseless, tireless action of your subconscious mind controls all the vital functions of your body without any need for your conscious mind to intervene. While you're asleep, your heart continues to beat rhythmically. Your chest and diaphragm muscles pump air in and out of your lungs. There, the carbon dioxide, that is the byproduct of the activity of your body's cells, is exchanged for the fresh oxygen you need to go on functioning. Your subconscious controls your digestive processes and glandular secretions, as well as all the other wondrously complex operations of your body. All this happens whether you are awake or asleep. If you were forced to operate your body's functions with your conscious mind, you would certainly fail. You'd probably die a very quick death. The processes are too complicated, too intertwined. The heart-lung machine that is used during open heart surgery is one of the wonders of modern medical technology, but what it does is infinitely simpler than what your subconscious mind does 24 hours a day, year in, year out. Suppose you were crossing the ocean in a supersonic jetliner and you wandered into the cockpit. You certainly would not know how to fly the plane, but you would not find it difficult to distract the pilot and cause a problem. In the same way, your conscious mind cannot operate your body, but it can get in the way of proper operation. Worry, anxiety, fear, and depression interfere with the normal functioning of the heart, lungs, stomach, and intestines. The medical community is just beginning to appreciate how serious so-called stress-related diseases are. The reason is that these patterns of thought interfere with the harmonious functioning of your subconscious mind. When you feel physically and mentally disturbed, the best thing you can do is let go, relax, and still the wheels of your thought processes. Speak to your subconscious mind. Tell it to take over in peace, harmony, and divine order. You will find that all the functions of your body will become normal again. Be sure to speak to your subconscious mind with authority and conviction. It will respond by carrying out your command. How to get the subconscious to work for you? The first thing to realize is that your subconscious mind is always working. It is active night and day, whether you act upon it or not. Your subconscious is the builder of your body, but you cannot consciously perceive or hear that inner silent process. Your business is with your conscious mind and not your subconscious mind. Just keep your conscious mind busy with the expectation of the best, and make sure the thoughts you habitually think are based on things that are lovely, true, just, and harmonious. Begin now to take care of your conscious mind, knowing in your heart and soul that your subconscious mind is always expressing, reproducing, and manifesting according to your habitual thinking. Remember, just as water takes the shape of the pipe it flows through, the life principle in you flows through you according to the nature of your thoughts. Claim that the healing presence in your subconscious is flowing through you as harmony, health, peace, joy, and abundance. Think of it as a living intelligence, a lovely companion on the way. Firmly believe it is continually flowing through you, vivifying, inspiring, and prospering you. It will respond exactly this way. It is done unto you as you believe. Healing principle of the subconscious restores optic nerves. One of the most celebrated healing shrines in the world is at Lourdes in southwestern France. The archives of the medical department of Lourdes are filled with dossiers that detail well-authenticated cases of what are termed miraculous healings. One example among many is the case of Madame Beer, who was blind with optic nerves that were atrophied and useless. After she visited Lourdes, she regained her sight. Several doctors who examined her testified that her optic nerves were still useless, and yet she saw. A month later, a re-examination found that her visual mechanism had been fully restored to normal. I am thoroughly convinced that Madame Beer was not healed by the waters of the shrine. What healed her was her own subconscious mind, which responded to her belief. The healing principle within her subconscious mind responded to the nature of her thought. Belief is a thought in the subconscious mind. It means to accept something as true. The thought accepted executes itself automatically. Undoubtedly, Madame Beer went to the shrine with expectancy and great faith. She knew in her heart she would receive a healing. Her subconscious mind responded accordingly, releasing the ever-present healing forces. The subconscious mind, which created the eye, can certainly bring a dead nerve back to life. What the creative principle created, it can recreate. According to your belief, it is done to you. How to convey the idea of perfect health to your subconscious mind. A Methodist minister I met in Johannesburg, South Africa, told me how he overcame the advanced case of lung cancer. The method he used was to convey the idea of perfect health to his subconscious mind. At my request, he sent me a detailed description of the process, which I now pass along to you. He says, several times a day I would make certain that I was completely relaxed mentally and physically. I relaxed my body by speaking to it as follows. My feet are relaxed. My ankles are relaxed. My legs are relaxed. My abdominal muscles are relaxed. My heart and lungs are relaxed. My head is relaxed. My whole being is completely relaxed. After about 5 minutes, I would find myself drifting into a sleepy, drowsy state. Then I affirmed the following truth. The perfection of God is now being expressed through me. The idea of perfect health is now filling my subconscious mind. The image God has of me is a perfect image, and my subconscious mind recreates my body in perfect accordance with the perfect image held in the mind of God. This minister had a remarkable healing. The technique he used is a simple, straightforward way of conveying the idea of perfect health to your subconscious mind. Another wonderful way to convey the idea of health to your subconscious is through disciplined or scientific imagination. I told a man who was suffering from functional paralysis to make a vivid picture of himself walking around his office, touching the desk, answering the telephone, and doing all the things he ordinarily would do if he were healed. I explained to him that this mental visualization of perfect health would be accepted by his subconscious mind. He threw himself into the role. He actually felt himself back in the office. He knew that he was giving his subconscious mind something concrete and definite to work upon. His subconscious mind was the film upon which the visualization was impressed. He continued this visualization discipline intensively for several weeks. Then one day the telephone rang, at a time when everybody else was out. The telephone was about 12 feet away from his bed. Nevertheless, he managed to answer it. His paralysis vanished from that hour on. The healing power of his subconscious mind had responded to his mental imagery, and a healing followed. This man had suffered from a mental block that prevented nerve impulses generated in the brain from reaching his legs. Therefore, he could not walk. When he shifted his attention to the healing power within him, the power flowed through his focused attention, and he walked again. Whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. Matthew 21:2. Ideas worth remembering. Your subconscious mind controls all the vital processes of your body and knows the answer to all problems. Prior to sleep, turn over a specific request to your subconscious mind and prove its miracle-working power to yourself. Whatever you impress on your subconscious mind is expressed on the screen of space as conditions, experiences, and events. Therefore, you should carefully watch all ideas and thoughts entertained in your conscious mind. The law of action and reaction is universal. Your thought is action, and the reaction is the automatic response of your subconscious mind to your thought. Watch your thoughts. All frustration is due to unfulfilled desires. If you dwell on obstacles, delays, and difficulties, your subconscious mind responds accordingly, and you are blocking your own good. The life principle will flow through you rhythmically and harmoniously if you consciously affirm, I believe that the subconscious power that gave me this desire is now fulfilling it through me. This dissolves all conflicts. I'll read it again. I believe that the subconscious power that gave me this desire is now fulfilling it through me. You can interfere with the normal rhythm of your heart, lungs, and other organs by worry, anxiety, and fear. Feed your subconscious with thoughts of harmony, health, and peace, and all the functions of your body will become normal again. Keep your conscious mind busy with the expectation of the best, and your subconscious will faithfully reproduce your habitual thinking. Imagine the happy ending or solution to your problem. Feel the thrill of accomplishment, and what you imagine and feel will be accepted by your subconscious mind, which will bring it to pass. The end.